Well, hello, research reading and writing students. This is Jake. I'm sitting here with my baby Elijah, 7 months old, and so if I get interrupted during this video, I apologize, but we'll do the best we can. I want to talk to you about finding sources today because you're going to have a topic for your research paper, and then what do you do about finding sources? Well, let's see. I might as well say it since all of you will do it. You'll go to google.com and just see what happens. That's a place to start. Another place is Wikipedia, of course, or other online encyclopedias. You can try news websites and other popular sources. Now, this will get you started, but this will not get you where you need to go completely. Remember, we learned about popular sources, that they're good places to start, but what do we do after that? Well, we need to find scholarly sources. But let's just start with Wikipedia here, and I'm just going to open up the web browser. And one of my students wants to write her research paper on classical music, and you see it written right there, and popularizing classical music. She wants it to be more popular among young people today. So I just opened up a classical music article on Wikipedia. You can read it, learn about classical music. What I'm more interested in is, if we look at the table of contents, down here we have some topics like commercialization and education. And those seem more related to her topic of popularizing it. So let's click on education. We don't have the time to read all this now, but if you look down here at the third paragraph in this section, it mentions some research done about the benefits of classical music. And these little numbers here are references or footnotes. If we click on it, it comes down to the bottom of the Wikipedia article, and lo and behold, here is our reference, along with all of these other references. Now, we can use these references to research further. So you can start with an article like on Wikipedia, but then look at the references. Where did this article get its information? Now down here, reference number 38, the impact of music education on academic achievement. That sounds interesting. And if I clicked on the link and opened it up here, and it's a nice PDF document, the impact of music education on academic achievement, written by two people from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. It sounds like they're professors. They might know what they're talking about. And we have a nice source here. Perhaps we need to look further to find out when it was published and where it was published. But it looks like a nice source. And we can look down at their references and find some other possibilities. Look at these references here, and look at the titles, think about the content, and perhaps that's something we can use. We could just try a simple Google search, and I know you know how to do this, but let's try this. Popularizing classical music today. Let's just try that and see what happens. We have a blog here. We have China's higher education, so it's talking about something going on in China, Salon. Okay, there we go. We got an article from India. I don't know if any of these are helpful, but these are possible links we could try. Google's not always that helpful, even though everybody uses it and loves it. Of course, you could try the BBC, CNN, etc. You know how to do that, though, so I'm going to let you do that on your own. Like I said before, you can look at the references or footnotes on popular sources like Wikipedia. I just showed you how to do that. A very important place to start, footnotes, after you find an article you like. The next thing that you might not know about are online databases like that are on the DL, well, I should say available through the DL, EBSCO and SpringerLink in particular, and I'll show you how to find them. Go back to our web browser here. Here's our beloved DL, and if you look down here on the left side of the screen, left side of the page, we have SpringerLink, Web of Knowledge, and EBSCO. Let's try EBSCO first because I think it's probably the best source. EBSCO is an online database with academic journals. Now here it says user ID and password. You probably don't know it, but our password is, did I write it down here? I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. In the next slide. Here's the password. IUIT is the login. Password is password. Very secretive. IUIT PASSWORD. Let's log in. And wait. Let's wait. Okay. Now the first screen you come to is this Choose Databases screen. Now I'm just going to say select all because I think you'll get more sources that way. But for example, we have Medline, we have Greenfile. Like for example, if you're not talking or researching a medical subject, you might unclick Medline because why would you need medical articles? But for the sake of getting enough, we're just going to make sure that all of these are clicked, and then we click Continue. Now we're actually in EBSCO, and I hear the baby whining. Let's see if I can help him. Let me just pause a second here. All right, little guy, what can I do for you? All right, so let's try again our classical music example. So let's try making classical music, music popular. Let's just try it and see what happens. And I have one result. Now if I only get one result, that tells me that I probably need to change my search, right? So let's just try classical music and do a search. And let's see how many results we get. Now, of course, we get 178,476. Now, I don't have time to look through all of those, so we need to limit our results. A great way to refine them, if you look on the left side here, it says full text. If you only want to find articles that have the entire text available, click full text. We're going to do that and then click update because I only want full text articles. And we're down to 114,000, still a lot. Okay, let's just take a look at some of these, the first ones here. The effect of music on the test scores of the students, You'll notice down here it has subjects. These are like keywords that are related to this article. Foreign countries, music, calculus, relationship, reliability, achievement tests, college freshmen, gender differences. Now, most of these don't seem very helpful. So let's think about, oh look, down here in this next one, subjects, popular music and classical music. So let's add classical music, let's also add popular music to the search and see what happens. So we have 889 results, much more limited, and that's something that's getting a little bit more doable now. We have a comparison of popular and classical musicians, not really that helpful, I don't think, but you know, actually popular music and classical musicians, maybe that would be helpful. Subjects, let's look at the subjects. Popular music and classical music, music teacher education, cognitive styles, multicultural education. All right, so it looks like it's related to education. Look at the source here, Music Educators Journal. So let's click on this link. And we get more information. The authors, the source, the date from 2011. That's quite recent. Very good. And this is the abstract right here. The abstract is like a short summary of the article. which is very handy. So you don't have to read the whole article. You can just read a little bit, read the summary. And as we read the summary, we might think, yeah, this is something that I really, really want to read. Look on the left side here. It says full text. We can click on this, and boom, there's the full text. And you can print it out, or you can just read it on your computer. And we have a real scholarly article. This is not popular. This is scholarly or academic. And it could be a good source for your paper. Now remember, go down to the bottom, and you can look at the notes and see if there's anything else you might be interested in. Here we go. Bridging the Gap, Popular Music and Music Education. That might be something, bridging the gap, right? That's a little bit close to making music popular, making perhaps classical music popular. So we could do a search either in EBSCO or on Google for this source and see if we can find it, or we could go to our library and see if we can find it. All right, let's go back to our PowerPoint quickly here. Oh, Springer Link, that's right. So we'll take a look again at DL. Here we have on the left side Springer Link. Springer Link is a little bit like EBSCO. It is a database of scholarly journals. There we go, it even says it. Providing research with access to millions of scientific documents from journals, books, da-da-da-da-da. All right, so let's just do a little search here. Classical music. It's pretty broad, but we'll try it. 14,000 results. And look on right here, it says include preview only content. So that means you can't, preview only means you can only see the abstract. You cannot see the whole article. So let's not include that. 200. Okay, so that's a little bit better. And over here on the left side, you see the disciplines that it's related to. Computer science, medicine, chemistry, life sciences. And it seems like we probably are not real interested in computer science for this topic. So I think that perhaps medicine would be a better one. And subdisciplines, human-computer interaction, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think Springer Link is mostly related to science, and this classical music topic is not really a very scientific topic. It's more of a, obviously, arts and humanities topic. So perhaps Springer Link is not the best example for this. But in any case, you need to try this because it provides, look here, download PDF. You can read the whole article in a PDF version. Or you can click on View Article, and you see here the source, brain topography, sounds very scientific to me. The date right here. Here are the authors. And here's our abstract. Remember, the abstract is the summary of the article. So if you aren't sure if you need the article, read the abstract and see if that is what you really want. All right, so let's take a look at our PowerPoint again here quickly. All right. Okay, sorry, I'm going back and forth. There we go. Another thing you can try, and I can't promise it will help, is scholar.google.com. Scholar.google.com theoretically scholarly articles and kind of weeds out the other ones. So here we are at scholar.google.com. And let's try, maybe we should try another subject, but I don't have any other ideas right now, so I'll stick with classical music. So let's just type in classical music, popular, let's try the word education. And looky here, what do we have? Okay, so we have a book, and over here on the right side it tells you if a PDF is available. Popular Music Education, in and for itself. Effects of exposure to classical music on the musical preferences of preschool children. Now this would be interesting because we're trying to popularize it. So if you expose classical music to preschool children, will they like it later in life? This seems like a good article. Let's click on that. All right, buddy. You're okay. Okay. Here's the Journal of Research in Music Education. Great. All right. Here's the abstract. We can read it later. We don't have time in this one. Here's the full text PDF link right here. And let's click on that and see what happens. What happens? You have to sign in. So that means that you have to subscribe to this journal. You have to pay for it. That's the problem with, what should I say, with scholar.google.com is sometimes it will only find the abstract when you have to pay for the article, and most students are not interested in paying. But it can be helpful, so it's worth a shot. All right, this baby's running out of patience, but we'll keep going. All right. Oh, and once again, always look at the references and citations in the source you read, because it can lead you to something else. So maybe you find an article that's only a little bit helpful. It might have a reference or a citation that will lead you to a better article. Okay, there's the EBSCO login and password again for your convenience. Don't forget it. And EBSCO is probably the best place for you to start for your scholarly articles. Remember, change your search terms if you need to broaden it or narrow it. If you get too many results, then you might need to change your search terms. Or if you get too few. And once again, the key words or subject terms that were listed there help you know what words EBSCO really cares about. So if you're using the word, what might be an example of it, but if you're using a word like, let's say, academic, but EBSCO prefers the word scholarly, then you know to change your search term from academic to scholarly. Or if you're looking for, let's say, bioethics, something about bioethics, but you're doing but EBSCO recognizes bioethics issues, then you need to add the word issues. I don't know if that's a very good example, but look at the key words and help you. Remember, sometimes the full text is available and sometimes it's not. You can almost always find an abstract, though, which will give you kind of a preview of the whole article. Okay, so without repeating myself too much, it's time to start finding sources. You can start with popular sources, but don't stay there. You need to move on to real scholarly sources, and you can go to our DL page, go to EBSCO, go to SpringerLink. You can even try scholar.google.com. All right, I hope it goes well for you, and please let us know if you have any questions.